Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Clardy Davis, and I'm owner of ML Clardy Law LLC. It is a unique mental health service legal firm located in Atlanta, Georgia, where we focus on mental health centered legal services, specifically services related to ADA employment accommodations, incapacity and estate planning, and the 2020 signature service, which is psychiatric treatment representation. So connected to psychiatric treatment representation is often a topic that is rarely discussed. So I wanted to discuss it on this video today. And it is really the suffering or struggles that a caregiver often experiences when they are working with a loved one who is currently at a crisis stabilization unit. So what I mean by a crisis stabilization unit, which is related to the legal service, is when an individual is in a hospital because they were a danger to either themselves or others, and they mental health related, and they were either a danger to themselves or others. They are often admitted to a facility to be evaluated and to help to stabilize the crisis situation. So oftentimes we really focus on the individual, and I think that's important. But one of the things that we don't or often overlook other struggles and challenges of the caregiver. So today I want to talk about the top 3 struggles that mental health caregivers often experience either before or during this crisis situation. And then finally, I'd like to discuss third, what the after looks like. So either before or during, I get the top 3 things are panic and fear. We'll put those together. Overwhelm, and finally guilt. Now, I'd like to start off with guilt because I think that is the key to all of the calls that I get. When I normally get a call from a family member, whether it is a friend, loved one, etc., they are often racked with guilt. And what I mean by this is they may be the person who was instrumental in making that a person either go to the mental health facility, or they were instrumental in that person getting involuntarily committed to that hospital. So often when they call, they have these same general concerns, which are, I don't know if I should be speaking to you because I was the one who put them there. Or my loved one will be very upset with me because they are currently at a hospital, and if I contact you or I engage your services, they may be more upset with me than they already are. So those feelings or emotions of guilt are often a key thing that many of the clients that I work with experience. The second thing would be panic and fear. And what I mean by that is the clients that I work with generally have loved ones that literally have just experienced a crisis. And those individuals that experience a crisis, it often really expands to the community, whether it's their families or friends. So they are often in a state of crisis. That fight or flight that individuals generally, talk about is there. It is a present moment for them. And so oftentimes family members are in a state of panic. And when they call the office, they are fearful of the unknown. And what I mean by unknown is they're fearful of, yes, the individual is there, but what does that mean? My individual is being asked to sign documents and I don't know what they mean. They're fearful of the lack of communication because when they're in the hospital and they're currently being stabilized, there generally is a wall, there's a boundary, and communication is very limited. And often that puts them into panic because they don't know what's going on, and they feel like that lack of transparency, communication is a big barrier for them, and it makes them very fearful. The third thing is overwhelm. And it could be overwhelm in a number of instances. Overwhelming decisions that they must make related to, for example, let's say that their loved one has to take a particular medication, or they were recommended to do a particular type of treatment, or they have to put together a plan when they're discharged, or there's a potential that the loved one may have to stay in there even longer. All of these decisions that must be made in many cases immediately often fill many of the clients, mental health caregivers, with overwhelm. They are literally going from one decision to the next, and coupled with the emotion of fear, panic, and guilt, it makes it very difficult for them to make the decisions that are necessary for them to properly care for their loved ones. So since we've talked about the before and during, which is the kind of emotional state of a caregiver, like I said, panic, fear, guilt, and overwhelm, I would like to finally talk to you about the after. What does it actually mean when you hire an attorney to help in this matter? So specifically, the after can look very different from everyone, but generally the after is providing solid direction to caregivers, really providing them clarity in the present and providing them with strategic solutions to help them in their future. So during this particular time period, it's really important for caregivers to have the support that they need to help make the legal decisions that their loved one needs, either during treatment or when they're discharged. And so an attorney can really help in this matter because they can help to really kind of, let's say, move through and help prioritize what needs to be done. And the attorney can be almost like a sounding board, because you often have family members and loved ones who are in a state of panic. And if anyone knows, fearful panic does not necessarily equal good decision making. So having an attorney to help you with that is often very appreciated with my clients. And finally, overall, just peace of mind. And peace of mind because often caregivers very, very, very often do not get the support that they need while their loved one is in crisis. And oftentimes the loved one is having their struggle, and the caregiver is often having a struggle outside of the treatment facility. So having an attorney or having a specialist or someone who can help give a sense of support, help to take a weight off of the caregiver or the loved one while they're dealing with the crisis, is often a big benefit. One of the things, however, that I often tell the clients is an attorney is not there to make it go away. They are not there to make things, everything with a snap of my finger. I can just make stabilization possible. Mental health challenges are a journey. I personally experienced them. It is not necessarily fixed with one hospital stay, one medication, one therapeutic treatment, and in the same vein, one lawyer engagement. But what it can do is, during this particular state of crisis, help give those around the situation peace of mind. So if you would like to learn more about these services, or if you know someone who can benefit from these services and they live in the state of Georgia, I would really encourage you to contact our office to schedule a free 15-minute consultation. I'd love to learn about the challenges you and your family members have faced, and specifically what we can do to support you. Thank you and have a great evening.